In a more recent video, I made a video about real gig drivers giving you real tips on deliveries. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about if I was to start brand new as a delivery driver in 2023, what I would have done in comparison to what I might have done or didn't do. Now, starting with number one, I'm going to make this one my top priority one. And the reason why is because it has altered my life a lot. And it could for you. Now, it's not a common thing that you're going to hear probably any other gig worker say, but it is going to be from me. And that's going to be start a YouTube channel. Why? Well, within the first 2 weeks of me doing gig work, I started this YouTube channel. So no regrets there. Something I did. But most of us gig drivers or delivery drivers or whatever you want to call us, we are independent contractors. Now, whether you're doing this full-time or part-time or thinking about doing either one or, if you are self-employed like myself and you are looking for opportunities for other income streams, why not start with YouTube? Within the first 5.5 months of me doing my YouTube channel, I was monetized. Yes, it's work. Yes, it's consistency. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. Yes, you got to put up with some comments that are going to be super rude that you're like, why do I even do this? Yes, you're going to feel number crunched and everything else. But it could be what it is for me, which is a passion. YouTube is not work for me. For some people, they prefer just doing the deliveries. And if that's your case scenario, that's fine. But you could find this hobby, which I have found, and I found YouTube as a hobby when I was 17, and now I'm 30 years old. But it has become a love for the game. And additionally, I get paid to make these videos. Why not? So if you are looking for multiple income streams and you're a gig worker and you want to know what you can do differently this year, you can start YouTube. I was asked just by my friend yesterday who knows that I'm a monetized creator, don't I think I'm too late to be doing YouTube? And not as in I'm old, as in the fact of during COVID, gig tubers rise to fame. Thing is, no, I don't think so whatsoever. Because there's different type of content that you can make here on YouTube. I don't just do ride-along videos. I got tip videos like this. I got tons of tutorial videos. And YouTube has changed my life dramatically. So if you're thinking about something when it comes to 2023 and doing gig work and what you can also do for an income stream, check out YouTube and your opportunities. I'm not saying it's not going to be hard work. Trust me, it is. But for me, it's worthwhile and it's something I love and adore. And how can I not share something I love and adore? Now, step number two, or tip number two, or something number two into the mix, I would definitely say when it comes to doing gig work differently in 2023, the new thing that I would not do is take orders less than $7. Before, my low point was $6, and now it's $7. Why? Because of inflation cost. You are self-employed or you're trying to make your own money when you're doing gig work. You are not going to make your own money and rise the cost when it comes to cost of living, gas, taxes, and everything else if you're taking orders that are underneath $7. Even for some, they say the borderline is $8. And you know what? I don't blame them. But if you're taking orders that are less than that, it is not going to be worth your time. And that was something I've done a lot previously. I also took a lot of heat for a video that I did about $3 orders, but the only reason why I was doing $3 orders back then in the past is because of the fact that that was before estimated tips was included by Uber. And I've stated that, I've pinned the comment, and I still get feedback to this day, and that's okay. That's my taboo. I get it. But when it comes down to it, if you're accepting those orders that are less than $7 or $8, you're going to feel the heat. And that's going to bring me into the next tip, double stacked orders. If my minimum on a single order is $7, that means on a double stacked, I'm looking for double the amount. When it comes to double stacked orders, just because they're going to throw $9 and say it's going to be 30 minutes, doesn't mean that's going to fall into the equation. When it comes to these double stacked orders, what I wish I would have done differently is accepted the orders based on my minimum. I had somebody recently tell me that they did a $9 double stacked order that took over 40 minutes and it was long and it was stressful. When I do double stacked orders now going into the mix, if my minimum is $7 for a single order, that's my new minimum for a double stacked. The exception, I'll do an $11 or a $12 order, sometimes even a $10 order on the downtime hours, and it says it's going to take 15-20 minutes. Other than that, if I'm looking at 30 minutes for $10, you're probably looking at more 40-45 minutes. It's depending. If you're starting off and you're just coming new into doing gig work, when it says 30 minutes, you can expect it could take you longer. Why? because you could be waiting at the restaurant. You might not be used to how the apps work. It could take you time. Maybe you're trying to dig up your delivery bags in the back of your trunk. I don't know. But because of this, if you're not nailing down those double stacked orders with your minimum requirements, you're going to feel the pressure later on going on, taking these double stacked orders and not getting the worthwhile. It's the same thing now too for triple stacks. I have yet to do a triple stack order. These companies are paying less base pay as they're stacking on more orders for us. So make sure you set your boundary that you have a minimum when it comes to taking those higher offered orders in the sense of stacked. Now, another thing that comes to the mix when it comes to a huge difference in 2023 is I was late in the game when it comes to buying myself a drink delivery bag or a drink carrier. And I do have one here in the mix, and I don't care if you order them for myself, my Amazon links down below and gain me commission, or if you order them yourself or get them from Walmart. But having a drink delivery bag has made a huge difference in my life. True story, I had a Wendy's order that had 2 large drinks in the mix. And what I was doing is I was putting the Wendy's drinks inside the drink tray, putting that down in the bag, and then the food beside it, hoping the weight would balance out. Have you seen how large those Wendy's drinks are? If you order the large, it's like a freaking jumbo. And with my luck, the jumbo one was the one that fell over. Now, I was fortunate and lucky that only a few drops of that Diet Coke spilled out into my bag. But could you explain to the fact to the customer if half of it dumped out and then it seeped through to the food and got that wet? Yeah, sure. I take the drinks all the time and I put them in the passenger seat separately from my actual bag. But then you also have it jolting around along the times. You have it that you're trying to focus on the road. You have it that these apps are pushing you more orders. So if you have a delivery bag that is devoted for just drinks, I'm telling you, it makes it worthwhile. One of my favorites is the square holders that look like drink trays. They're individuals, but those are more secure. The drink trays that come from the restaurants, or as we say in Quebec, the cabarets, they are not worth crap. I've even had it that they seep through the bottom, and I've caught it on the bottom because the restaurants sometimes get them soaked in water. And if that's going to happen, it's going to make a horrendous delivery for you. So the things that I would do differently, definitely in 2023, is invest in a good drink bag. If you're not going to do that for yourself, you're going to pay the repercussions later, and it's not going to be a fun scenario. And the last one, because I'm not going to make this a huge long videos because I already talk a lot and drag things out, but it's going to be an emergency kit. Now, a lot of people don't think about it, but as you can see, I got a hat on, I got my jacket, and you can see snow behind me. So in Montreal, Quebec, sometimes you need to shovel your way out, and what's such a pain in the ass is we park on side roads and sometimes snowplows decide to plow us in. If that's the case scenario, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to get out. So one way that you can avoid that is by having yourself an emergency bag. Same thing with battery shortages. If your battery shortage is on your car and you need to get yourself the wires to boost your car, well, I have an emergency kit all the time, and I've had this way before gig work. And again, I don't care if you get yours at the store, you get some through my Amazon link, it's whatever you choose, but it makes a huge difference. The weather is radical when it comes to anywhere that you're going nowadays. Sometimes it's extreme cold fronts and sometimes it's extreme warm fronts, but we have to be ready for those, and an emergency bag helps with just that. What if you're pulled over on the side of the road one day and you're freezing your ass off and your battery's dead? If you don't have the booster, you don't have the blanket to keep you warm, you don't have anything, it's going to be a very tough time. So I think that's the main 4 tips that I can give to somebody, that if you want to know what would be something different that I would do in 2023, that would be the thing that I would do. I don't think those things, besides a drink holder, is commonly talked about too much. I say that people always talk about distance to kilometers because it's true, or distance to dollars rather, because it's true, but not a lot of them will state what their minimum is. So I do have a minimum. I do believe in being a creator because it's made all the difference in my life. Drink delivery bags have a huge impact for me, and I got an emergency bag wherever I go. So I hope this helps you when it comes to getting started with your deliveries in 2023. And I'll catch you lovelies in the next video.